of the 2019 Young People's Human Rights Medal is Vanessa Turnbull Roberts.
Good afternoon, everybody. Just like to introduce, where's my nephew? Where is he? Come. He's shy.
Hey.
The most important person here right now for me. Good afternoon. My family and the table over there actually were like, you should write some notes down. I was like, no, there's no need. I'm not going to need notes for this because it was a true surprise to be nominated, yet alone the winner for this award. So I first and foremost just want to take the time to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land, and I want to pay my respects to our elders, both past, present and future, for they hold the memories, hopes and traditions of this country. I want to acknowledge the Gadigal warriors, the Gadigal fighters, the Gadigal healers. We are on Gadigal country right now, and for those who are feeling a little bit uncomfortable in their privilege, this was, and always will be, Aboriginal land. So please don't forget that. I am a proud Bundjalung Widjabul woman. My family stem from the mid-north coast of New South Wales, and I've had the privilege and honour of growing up on Gadigal country with a very strong connection to Gadigal country and to Redfern and the resistance and the resilience that is here. It's something that's not going anywhere, and it's something that we, as young people and as younger people and as adults, we must continue to remember to continue fighting at that front line. I'd also just want to take the time to acknowledge Sister Keely and Marley over there. I think it's extraordinary that First Nations people are being recognised, but I also think it's important to acknowledge the First Nations people that aren't here. They're the First Nations people that we've lost to out-of-home care. They're the First Nations people that are imprisoned right now. They're the First Nations people that have passed away right now, not knowing home, not knowing identity, not knowing where they belong. And that is the result of the colonialism and disruption that exists in this country. And a lot of people here think we're in a time where we're improving the system, we're in a time where it's working, but this system does not work. It does not work for our kids in care. It does not work for our kids who are incarcerated. And it does not work for our elders who continue to be subject to the pain and oppression of what this country is built on. So whilst we're all here today and I acknowledge how beautiful this event is, my mind and my spirit can't help but think of those young people that aren't here. The fact that my nephew is here right now is the odd to that. The fact that my nephew gets to be here and stand on this stage, that's not for all our kids. And we need to remember that. And we need to remember the bigger fight that we're facing right now. Our ancestors are angry, the country is burning, and no one seems to listen or wake up. But we have the privilege of being able to sit here right now. So I ask that every single person in this space assess your privilege and show up on the front line with the people fighting, because there are extraordinary human beings that are out there. There are extraordinary black people that are out there on the front line doing extraordinary community activities. And we need to amplify those voices and we need to raise those voices, because those voices have been silenced for too long. And the odds say for my nephew that he should be incarcerated before he should even make it past year 9. And I refuse, as a proud Bundjalung Widjabul woman, to make sure he is not incarcerated, to make sure he knows that he can do whatever he wants to do whenever he wants to do it. Whether it's academia, whether it's frontline activism, whether it's a scientist, whether it's the person that discovers the answers. He has that opportunity. Because as First Nations people, it's not about whether we're political or not. Every day we have to step up and wake up and go to sleep with the intergenerational trauma that exists. And it's until we abolish organisations and systems like Department of Community Justice, previously known as Family and Community Service. It's until we abolish those systems and we allow the appropriate people to rebuild. It's not about looking too far forward. It's actually about just looking a little bit back, looking at our kinship, looking at our culture, looking at our identity that still exists here today. We are warriors of resistance and we are not going anywhere. We survived assimilation policies, we survived the oppression, but that doesn't mean the pain does not echo through our everyday lives. So I kindly ask, whilst we get the opportunity to be here right now, that we think of our nephews, our nieces, our sisters, our brothers, our aunties, our uncles, and we truly take time to consider where we place ourselves. When there's public demonstration happening out there on the streets, show up. Because there are too many bodies, lives, and lands that are taken. I want to also, just before I conclude, because I'll yarn for too long, I want to acknowledge all the other finalists that have been here. Acknowledging the class action that was taken against Housing Commission. That's happening everywhere. I remember growing up as a kid seeing my own mother fight that system as an individual. So when I hear extraordinary class action movements that are happening, that's exactly where it's at. And it's about class action. It's about applying pressure. It's about our lawyers, our psychologists, our scientists, our teachers, our healers, our protectors, our truth tellers, and our visionaries to actually start showing up, sharing that, creating that space. This wasn't always will be First Nations lands and countries throughout these waters, and I hope you all remember that. Thank you, guys. You want to say something? No? Okay. Let's go.
Bye.